Hey guys, welcome back to another coaster analysis, and today I'll be talking about Emperor at Seaworld San Diego, and I know this is a bit late, but I thought I'd just come out with this video because I haven't done an analysis on this coaster yet, and it recently had its first test run, so I just thought this would be a good time to do it. This is the B&M Dive Coaster opening at Seaworld San Diego later this year, and today I'll be going fully in depth with my just thoughts on it. So let's just get right into the video. So for those of you who don't know, Emperor had its first test run on Monday, March 9th, which was, at the time of this video, 4 days ago. And the testing footage made it look really good. It went really fast through all the elements. And I think that's mainly because they did not put the holding brake on the first test run, or have the holding brake. I'm not sure if they do that with the other dive coasters, but they did that with this. So we'll go slower once it actually starts operating, but from what we saw so far, it looked really fast and really awesome, but it definitely won't be that way once they actually start operating it with the holding brake. I'm not sure how much testing they've done since then, but probably a decent amount, and we'll continue to do a lot more until it opens, of course. But going through the stats, this is, of course, a B&M dive coaster. It has a height of 153 feet, a drop of 144 feet, a top speed of 60 miles per hour, a track length of 2,411 feet. It has 3 inversions, and, of course, a max vertical angle of 90 degrees, because it is a dive coaster. That first drop is a 90-degree first drop. It does not have a mid-course brake run. It is one of the smaller scale dive coasters, like a lot of the European ones, unlike the other ones in North America. So that should be interesting. And this ride does have vest restraints, which will definitely hinder the hang time and the air time of the ride experience a lot, make it a lot weaker, but it still should be decent, but definitely not as good as it could be. But it still looks like it's going to be a pretty solid ride. And actually, there is no official animated or test POV of it yet, like all the other SeaWorld coasters, except for Texas Stingray for some reason. All the other ones are fan-made. But we know, like, the layout, so we know, like, fan-made layouts and stuff are going to be pretty accurate. So I'm going to go through the POV in one of those layouts right here. So you're going to come out of the station, and then you're going to go into this little right hand turn here. Then you're going to go into the lift hill, and then after you crest over the top of the lift hill, you go into your little straight section, and then a little turn to the left. Most dive coasters have a turn at the top, which should provide a nice view, hopefully. And then you're going to approach to the holding brake, like on all dive coasters. You're going to hang over, and then you will go into the first drop, which I'm guessing will be decent, but not great like the other ones with the vests. And then you're going to go into an Immelman, which should be pretty good, and then to this interesting, like, overbank thing, which should probably get some hang time. It looks almost like an inversion. It looks pretty cool. Into this like 0-0 thing, which actually is a pretty intense looking pull out. So that should be cool. Into a corkscrew, which should get some nice hang time. Into a bank turn here. Looks okay, and then you'll head into the brake run. So that's the layout for Emperor. So Emperor, this ride looks pretty fun. You know, I do think it won't be the best dive coaster. It is a smaller scale, but the elements do look pretty fun. I really just think the vests are going to hinder it a lot, but it does have some cool elements. Like, I mean, the drop will probably be okay, but the inversions look to give some great hang time, like on the Immelman, the corkscrew, and that 0-0 thing should probably give some pretty good hang time. Although I really hope the vests don't restrict it a lot, which I'm kind of scared that they will. I don't know if they'll lock or not. I think that'll kind of, the hang time will depend on that. So the air time on that first drop. But I mean, it probably won't be super intense, but I do think that pull out on that 0-0 type inversion looks to probably get some pretty good forces, but that'll be about it. Even that like last bank turn in the bottom of the drop point probably won't give great forces, but I think this ride's gonna have some good hang time, some good elements. It's a short ride, but I think it's gonna be a decent ride. I mean, modern B&M dive coasters, the vests aren't my favorite. I don't really think they're very good at all, but it's gonna be a decent ride. It's a great fit for SeaWorld San Diego. They don't really have a lot of thrilling coasters. They really only have this, and Electric Eel, which just opened in 2019. The other ones are Manta and Journey to Atlantis, which is a water coaster and a family coaster. So it's definitely a good addition to the park, especially considering they can't build stuff super big because they're near the coastline. So I think a smaller B&M dive coaster is a great fit. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a good ride. I do think this will probably be the weakest ride in the park. Or coaster, I don't know. It might be better than Journey to Atlantis, but I don't think Manta and Electric Eel would be weaker than this. But still, it's going to be a cool ride. It's just kind of short and it probably won't be super intense. And I do think the vests are going to affect it. If this had over-the-shoulder restraints, it would probably be the best ride in the park, but I don't know. I do think it'll be one of the weaker dive coasters. But it still is going to be a fun ride, and I do think it's a great fit for the park. SeaWorld's definitely wanting to add a lot of stuff into the parks. I mean, they're adding one coaster to every park this year, and I do think this is the weakest of those additions. I do think Icebreaker, Texas Stingray, Iron Gwazi, and Pantheon are all going to be better, but this is still going to be a pretty decent ride. It's set to open in May. Hopefully the coronavirus doesn't set that back too much. I don't really want to get into detail, but just be prepared for that. It might get pushed back to like June or something, but I'm not sure. But overall, I think it's going to be a decent ride. Emperor, a decent dive coaster. Probably better than Valraven and Yukon, but weaker than like most of the other ones because I don't know, the elements are pretty fast and definitely a lot tighter than those two. This ride's pretty compact. Just the elements look pretty fun. It just looks like a fun ride. But I probably wouldn't be a super big fan of this ride. But overall, Emperor looks solid. Emperor coming to SeaWorld San Diego. So that'll be about it for my analysis of this coaster, the new B&M dive coaster coming to SeaWorld San Diego in 2020 this year. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.